to store energy. So if you are going to try and get energy sent over the wires, which you can do through mobile, into a storage system in the house, here is one where your energy can be stored. And in those countries where energy supply is difficult, like for example, if you live in Nigeria, where the electricity system fails a lot and you have to have a generator, this is something that Toyota does. Who would have thought Toyota making energy storage when they make really very well known for making cars? Let's go to the next slide. Okay, robotics is such an important area now, and here's an interesting tractor, and a company called Polymath Robotics is launching this plug-and-play software onto a vehicle that basically helps the vehicle work better, in this case for agriculture and for farming. Who would have thought that robotics would be used in agriculture to make farming better, to make the results of your farming be analyzed and identified in mobile? You know, if you have a look at the developments in technology, I have a great friend from Irkutsk in Siberia. He's a very well-known guy. He used to be a famous rock and roll musician. And then he became a technology guru. And he decided that what he was going to do, he was going to leave Moscow, where he'd been living for many years. He became a very successful musician. His name is Alexander Shulgin, Sasha Shulgin. And what he decided he was going to do was to go back to the city where he was born, which was Irkutsk, and he was going to start a vertical farm. Who knows what a vertical farm is? Could you explain? Exactly. Okay, so instead of having a farm in a field, so let's say, for example, you live near Astana and you want to have a farm in a field, you could come to Almaty and in a tall building, 6 stories, 10 stories, 15 stories, and on each floor you have agricultural growing strawberries, exactly as you said, very tasty, vegetables, some fruit you can grow. And this guy, Sasha Shulgin, has now got this 8 stories making incredible fruit and vegetables, and he's now sending those fruit and vegetables all over Russia and also to CIS countries, he tells me, and the strawberries are very, very good, but everything is controlled by his phone. So I said to him, Sasha, what kind of phone do you use? He says, well, you know, I can do all of this on my phone. And you know, ladies and gentlemen, I have to tell you, today is a special day. And you know why it's special today? Because today, Apple have announced their first new phone for 2024. And I'm very pleased to tell you that I spoke to Tim Cook, the chairman of Apple, just last week, and he sent me by FedEx one of the new iPhones. So I'd like to find out if you'd like to see the new iPhone that's just come out. Anybody interested to see it? Yes? No? Yes? Sorry, I could only hear one voice. Do you want to see it? Okay. Where's the camera? Can you put the camera? It's very unusual. They made a special one for me. So look carefully on the screen. Can you get... yeah. Can you get it very close up? What do you think of that? That's the new iPhone. You don't believe it, but it's true. I said to Tim Cook, I'm coming to give a speech in Kazakhstan. Can you do something that really shows people? Hello, Tim? No, I can't speak to you now. I'm in the middle of giving this talk. Tim, I'll call you back later. What do you think of that? You've now seen the new iPhone 15. What do you think of that? Not too bad. sleeping, I think, that lunch. What did they put in the food when you had your lunch here? I don't know what went on. Okay, let's just have a little bit of fun. I mean, look, you've got to have fun in life and fun in technology because, you know, a good friend of mine is the guy that created Candy Crush. He's a Swedish guy called Chodolf Sommerstadt, a lovely guy, very smart guy. And you know, if you are working at Candy Crush, do you know what the company motto, the theme in the company, the words that they live every day in the company of Candy Crush? Be playful. If you work in that company, you have to be playful. Can you say that they do the same things at Freedom Telecom? Or being playful, is that something you think about when you go to work? Or do you just think, work, 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 work? Be playful. And you know what? How many years do you think Candy Crush has now been popular? Four years. Oh, 4 years. How many? Anybody wanted to say how many more? 20 years. 20 is the right answer. When you think of it, Candy Crush, when it first came out, people loved it, went crazy. Continues to be very good, and they've made lots of different versions. They even put in colors into the game for people who are colorblind. So people who are colorblind can see the right figures. So when I mentioned Indonesia earlier on, I was speaking to Chodolf a couple of weeks ago because he's coming to Indonesia next month to speak at a big telecoms conference and to talk about how Candy Crush has been so successful in Indonesia, where they get about 100 million people out of 275 million playing that game. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Here's a good one. So, see that this is called a sleeve. It's a bionic sleeve. See, there's a phone in there. Actually, that is a phone. There's a mobile device in there. And it uses an algorithm to continually optimize mobility of the muscles. Here's a phone working in a medical capacity. And this company called Psionic and Fuse Project uses this to help sports people recovering from injury, or people who have hurt their leg, or people who have arthritis. So just to give you an idea of where effective mobile, and of course connected to good internet, not Japanese, but Kazakh internet, very important. Okay, so interesting idea. What do you think? Thumbs up or thumbs down to that idea? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Only 4 thumbs up in the whole room. Really? That's what you think? That's a good idea. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Come on, everybody. That's better. Okay, next slide. Who is a fan of Manchester City? Are you serious or are you just joking? Okay. Manchester City, they're not bad. I like Liverpool, my favorite team. Who likes Manchester United? Liverpool there? Manchester United? Liverpool, that's what we like. But anyway, why I wanted to show you this is taken at a Manchester City football game, and inside that scarf, that Manchester City scarf, is some technology that connects directly to the young fan on his phone and his father's phone. And there's a whole new way of introducing some kind of mobile technology or measurement or statistics or something that goes directly into the scarf. It's not very new to have something embedded into clothing. That does happen. But I just thought I'd show you this because now you're seeing people in Manchester at the Manchester City Games with these special mobile technology smart scarves, so that this data can also be judged by Manchester City. And you know, Manchester United are probably the best with technology. How many fans online do you think Manchester City have worldwide? You mean so far less than which United? Newcastle United? No, I'm saying Manchester United. The question to you is, how many global fans does Manchester United have online? 100 million. Anyone else? Too high. Too many. Anyone else? Sorry, what did you say, madame? Tens of millions. Well, give me a number. 100 million, too low. Billion, too high. So what could it be? 400, too low. United! Not City. You Manchester City, right? Manchester's blue, yes. No, but we're talking Manchester United. It's more than Manchester City, by the way. 650 million mobile user fans, regular user fans. Now, when you think about it, you know, to have that many fans that are involved in your team worldwide, it's incredible, because think of each time there's a new jersey when, who are the big new players now at Manchester United, they sell lots of jerseys like that. It's like with Manchester City, Haaland, the guy from, where's he from, Norway, Denmark? Norway. The Viking, what an incredible, my God, what a football player. That's right. Okay, so anyway, it's just an idea, because in sports today, technology is so important. There is a brilliant, brilliant company in Helsinki, in Finland, called Sprint AI. Exactly correct. A lot are using it. But one of the best companies I've seen in the last 5 years is a company from Helsinki, Finland, that make technology for mobile called Sprint AI. If you are interested in sports and how mobile, wireless technology can be used for sport, just look up a company in Finland called Sprint AI. They've got incredible technology that helps in training for the players' muscles to be much stronger and work better. Because not many people know, but there are many Finnish psychology coaches that coach important sports people. Lewis Hamilton, the racing driver, Formula One, has had a Finnish psychologist working with him every day when he's in the Formula One season. So just a thought, Sprint AI. Okay, let's go to the next slide. This is a good one. This is a 3D printed shoe. And this adjusts to the ergonomics of your foot. So you'll put the shoe on, and it'll then read your foot. Have you ever heard of a shoe reading your foot? I mean, you'd like your girlfriend sometimes to, tickle your foot, read your foot. It hasn't happened to me yet, maybe one day. But it's just an interesting idea of how 3D printed technology can actually be movable and adjust to the foot. Technology, it's got a wireless component. Maybe it could be used in some mobile, particularly for rehabilitation of injury or illness. Let's go to the next slide. Hello? There we are. Okay. Now, how many of you have children? Quite a few of you have children. Now, you've got to think of this. This is something that was developed in the USA and Canada. And this is a baby shoe that dissolves in water after use. So if you're worried about your child and germs on the foot, let's say you're in a COVID epidemic, who would have thought of making shoes that disappear? This is like the Snapchat of shoes. Because you know why? How Snapchat became so successful. They said if you take a photograph and put it on Snapchat, it goes away in 10 seconds. You know that was the key thing that got Snapchat to be successful. the photograph disappears. So, let's say, for example, you take a photograph of your boyfriend or your husband, and maybe it's a private photograph. You just want a few people to see it, the family, that kind of thing. Well, this, for baby shoes, took that kind of principle and has dissolved it. Now, I don't know if there's any kind of real mobile or wireless element with this, but anyway, it's an idea. So, how many of you are familiar with Bakhtiar Zainudimov? What about Askhat Tajibergen? But there are two good players of Kazakh national team, no? Oh, okay, very good. Okay, now, how many of you have heard of these esports athletes? Video game. We spoke about video games at the beginning when I showed you the top games in Kazakhstan. How many of you have ever heard of Dauren Kistobayev? He's sometimes called Andre N. Anybody know him? He's won gold, silver medals, bronze medals for esports. How about Alexei Golubev? He's called Quickert. Anyone heard of him? Very, very good games player. How about Abay Khasenov? Anyone heard of him? Hobbit. He calls himself Hobbit. No. Okay. Yes? Now you know. You know his Hobbit. That's very good. You woke up. You suddenly, what did you hear? Hobbit or did you hear Khasenov? Tolkien. Oh, yeah. That's it. Exactly correct. Exactly. Give him a round of applause. Come on. Very good. Because he was sleeping for the entire time we were talking, and then he hears the word Hobbit, and boy, he's up. By the way, how many of you read books by Tolkien? Do you know where he was born? No. Huh? No. No. Kazakhstan. Yes, his real name is Kudai Bergenov. Tolkien, no. He was born in South Africa, but anyway, that's not really. Okay, how many of you have heard of Sabina Altenbekova? No, not basketball. Volleyball, exactly correct. And she's also a model. She's a very beautiful woman, and she's a good volleyball player. I think she was in the Olympic Games, no? Not. She didn't play well. Oh, she is beautiful. Yes, she asked me for your phone number, and I said I'll get it after this talk and send it to her. Would you be okay with it? She's married, but she's looking for a new husband. You could be the one. Okay, so how many of you have spent time with Timur Turlov? You have. You know who he is, right? We would not be here if it was not for Timur. What about Kairat Akhmetov? You know who he is? How about Vladislav Minkevich? Anyone know him? How about Bolatbek Tolkunov? You know him, the CTO. Very good. Okay, so we made some, let's go to the next slide, please. Here we are. This is a company called Degree, the world's first marathon in the metaverse, all done with animation and kind of like anime, but doing this where a game is being transferred in the metaverse. Interesting product. It's starting to gather quite a lot of interesting interest, but it just gives you an idea of how the metaverse and what's happening in the metaverse, particularly with AI, is becoming more popular, and again, always linked to mobile. Let's go to the next slide. I love this one. So, today, as I was coming here to the conference, I saw the traffic coming into Almaty, and I couldn't believe it. It was traffic not as bad as Indonesia, and not as bad as Mumbai. I was in Mumbai 4 days ago. My God, the traffic is so bad in Mumbai. You know, there are 30 million people living just in that city. So anyway, someone came up with this incredible idea to make a bus that had those exercise bikes in the bus. And in fact, this is done in London, because the traffic in London can also be quite difficult. And what happens is, you pay, it's like you buy to go to the gym, but the gym is the bus. And the bus is 45 minutes to get from the start of the bus to downtown London in the financial district. And you get on the bus and you can do spinning on the bikes. Now, I'd like to ask you all a question. If someone had to develop this here in Almaty, where you had a bus like that coming in the city during the rush hour traffic, is this a good idea? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Not many people? You're up for it. Where's the Manchester City guy? He doesn't want to do it. You can even do it in a Manchester City jersey. You can wear the jersey. No problem. But this is another, just interesting because it's linked to mobile, and it shows you how you're competing and how your fitness is coming on. So, iRebel is the name of the company. If anyone wants to develop this business in Kazakhstan, here's something that I don't think has been done here before. So, what do you think? Good idea? Bad idea? Meh? An MEH? Meh? What do you think? Good? Okay. Okay, let's go to our final slide. This is something from Switzerland. You know, I want to show some just ideas, some good, some bad, some weird, some crazy. And this, I think, is a crazy idea because this supermarket, co-op in Switzerland, wanted to introduce insects in a burger, an insect burger. Why do you think you have insects in a burger? Because the cook went crazy and has gone mad? Or because it's got a lot of protein? So, how many of you would like to have an insect burger for dinner tonight?
No, we're Kazakhs.
Not Kazakhs. No. Give me a horse, but don't give me an insect. Right? Okay. So it's just an idea. You never know. Something from the future. Okay. So, next slide. So you've got these real imagineerings where you imagine something. I don't know what the Kazakh word is for being an imagineer. Not an engineer, an imagineer. Is there a word you can think of we can make up as an imagineer? Do you think you can create a Kazakh word for an imagineer? Because in English, Walt Disney, the Walt Disney Company, have got an imagineering division whose job is to imagine and then make incredible technology. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've come to the close of this, but I want to thank you for your attention. And I just wanted to also tell you that for me, to come to Kazakhstan is an incredible joy, because for the last 2 years, I've been working very, very closely with Dimash Kudaibergen. I've been trying to grow Dimash's career. I took him to India. I took him to Dubai. I took him to Munich. I took him to Prague. And we're now working on a whole plan to try and get Dimash to go to Asia, to go to Indonesia. Because if Dimash can get 275 million fans in Indonesia, he could do it because he's unique. He is probably one of the most amazing artists with a voice, and a high voice, 8 octaves, to sing like that, that's hard to do. But to me, what drew me to Kazakhstan was I always loved the creative personality of people in tech in Kazakhstan, which is why I love being able to mix with you, meet with you, talk with you, because for me, it's not Japan. It's not even Korea. For me, Kazakhstan is Special K. You know, there's a famous breakfast cereal in America you can get called Special K. It's made by Kellogg's. Well, for me, Kazakhstan is my Special K. So, my name is Ralph Sаймон. Thank you for listening. I hope that it gave you something to think about. I'd like to thank you very much, and I hope you have a good conference and come with some really good ideas, and that you can really see that 2024 in the future of telecom and everything that you're doing will be good. So